Semifinal Friday on the Big Ten Network as we bring you the 2018 Big Ten Women's Soccer Tournament from Westfield, Indiana, Grand Park. Once again, your host as we walk our way toward a champion. First game for Semifinal Friday, number 5 seed Illinois against the number 1 seed Penn State Nittany Lions. Take a look at our Dr. Pepper tournament look. In fact, in tight games as you expect, only 8 teams get in the Big Ten Women's Tournament. Penn State knocking off Michigan, Illinois getting it done on penalty kicks. And hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with USA International, Kate Markgraf. And Kate, Penn State, your regular season champs, but really both teams playing their best soccer.
And peaking at the right moment. In start of conference play, Penn State was 2-2, and now they put the pieces together, scoring some goals and solid on defense. And for Illinois, they only won 5 games last season. Nobody expected them to be there, but improved defense, some leadership coming out of their veteran players, as well as some new recruits, has put both teams playing some of their best soccer at the right time.
All right, let's start with Penn State, the Big Ten Midfielder of the Year, Emily Ogle.
She's incredible. She's the player that controls everything, the true general, and arguably the best midfielder in the Big Ten on both sides of the ball. She has 5 goals and 5 assists this season, but it's what she does defensively that makes this team so good.
And for Illinois, a whole lot of M's in that midfield.
Murray and Maroney, you've got the crafty one and the gritty one. They control the midfield for the Illini, making sure nothing gets through, but so dangerous on transition.
2 phenomenal coaches, Erica Dombach and Janet Rayfield, lead their teams in semifinal number 1. It's Penn State and it's Illinois for a spot in Sunday's championship game.
Right now, when you grab a $5 double chalupa box, you can enter for a chance to win an exclusive Platinum Xbox One X, only at Taco Bell.
Put down the chalupa. Focus.
Wrong button, buddy. Wrong button.
Soccer on BTN is brought to you by Meijer. Sign up for M-Perks. Get personalized rewards. Save 15% more each year at Meijer. You're just minutes from saving at mperks.com. And by State Farm. Here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today. Penn State, your reigning Big Ten tournament champions. They won it indoors. The weather horrendous a year ago. Knock on wood, we get better weather as Penn State knocked off Northwestern a year ago to win it. Let's take a look at Erica Dombach's starting lineup.
A solid, balanced technical side that will look to isolate players in dangerous spots. So they're looking for number 19, Talia Ferry, who scored both goals in Penn State's overtime win the last time these two teams faced each other. Her ability to bring down any type of service, clean it up, and finish it is what makes her so dangerous.
That's the Penn State Discover starting lineup. Let's take a look at the Illini Discover starting lineup.
Well, playing in a 3-5-2, which is a high-risk, high-reward system, relies heavily on their back line. Barker and George and Cathro will need to hold down and prevent that explosive Penn State offense.
And in goal for the Illini, number 30, Jalen Cunningham.
She is incredible. And the last game in the quarterfinals, she had a 3-save effort in penalty kicks, and her athletic goalkeeping brought so much confidence into that side coming into today.
And for Penn State in goal, 00, Amanda Dennis, top 10 all time in wins at Penn State.
And Coach Dombach says she is playing out of her mind right now. So much confidence, and her communication to her back line is key to keeping them defensively sound.
You said the key word, key. Let's take a look at the bare keys to this game.
Well, for Illinois, they need to finish every single opportunity that they know against Penn State. There won't be as many against other opponents because of their quality defense. And that means transitioning well on both sides of the ball whenever there's a turnover. And for Penn State, watch the first 20 minutes. You're going to hear them, the bench of Illinois. Penn State wants to match that with enthusiasm and that mentality, and also learn how to handle the excellent pressure of the front 2 of Illinois.
Favorite time of the year, semifinal Friday on the Big Ten Network. Delighted to be with you here for game number 1. Minnesota and Nebraska will feature around 30 minutes or so after this one ends. Illinois in their dark uniforms, Penn State in their white uniforms. And As Kate told you, both teams phenomenal form, but Penn State truly red hot, and you can use the word dominant over the last 8 games in Big Ten play. Illini down near the end line. Real, the Big Ten Defender of the Year, and it's funny, you don't often say somebody that's a Player of the Year is still underrated, but she was not on the Matt Kerman Trophy watch list, and I was surprised by that because I consider her one of the better defenders in the country.
Defenders get no love because the stats that we have to earn in order to be noticed. The key to defending sometimes isn't so much your ability to do lockdown 1v1 defense, it's to prevent in advance the dangerous situations that come, and that comes to reading the game and excellent verbal communication, and that's something she does well that hasn't been recognized at a national level.
Penn State putting passes together. Talia Ferry wearing number 19. First team all Big Ten selection. And Illinois going to take a shot from distance. Little deflection, no problem there for Amanda Dennis, the junior from San Diego, California. Erica Dombach, unbelievable job, 12th season and another Big Ten title for Penn State. And with the Big Ten Coach of the Year this year, she's got 4 in her 12 years. That's a pretty good ratio.
Just one of the best coaches in terms of breaking down opponents and figuring out the right way to attack others, as well as her recruiting system. I mean, she has a network in place globally. She's allowed to recruit some of the best players in high school soccer.
Penn State pushing forward, knocked out of bounds by the Illini. Patricia George, part of that 3-back system. Erica Dombach, and talking about Illinois' system under Janet Rayfield, one of the legends of the game, a true pioneer for women, not just in soccer, but women in sports, 17th season. And her record with the Fighting Illini, solid, tough couple years, and she's got her team right back where you've grown to expect the Illini. It's great to have them back in the semifinals, a place they haven't been in several years.
What she does so well is educate you on the game. I've played for both of these coaches, and I learned so much in just 4 months that I had with Janet Rayfield, because she breaks down positions and your responsibility so well that if you don't know that coming in as a high school player, you're going to grow exponentially under her tutelage in the first couple months.
That's a great point. Both these coaches with a lot of experience with U.S. soccer, U.S. women's full national team, and the youth national teams as well. In fact, at times they've been on staff together talking about some of the great stories they've shared, and that's one of the great things about their unification and even how they work with United Soccer coaches, sharing what works. Illinois started the season in North Carolina, taking on the Tar Heels and Duke. Actually, we're leading North Carolina by a score of 1-0, and then beat Duke just a couple days later. Duke was number 3 in the country, and you start to take a look at the resume for the Illini, and as you're doing your research, as long as they don't get blown out here, it looks like they can get into the NCAA tournament. Penn State into the 18, they square it. Here's Penn State, the early opportunity.
Well, Penn State's doing something so well is they're getting it into the midfield and then changing the point, changing from one wide channel to another, which buys time and space for Shiva in this case to get wide, get high, and be in an excellent position to receive the ball and attack the end line.
It's Kim Dubs, as Carriabello, the left-footed player, is out with an injury. Dubs gets the start, the freshman from Switzerland, played in front, handled there by the athletic Jalen Cunningham, the junior from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Second team all Big Ten this year, and showing that form, as you said, in penalty kicks against the Badgers. It's not very often you see the penalty kick score as 3-0, and that just shows Cunningham stepping up big.
It's like the save on Wayne Rooney last night. Did you see that?
Yeah. Feel bad for DC. They made such a great run, right?
They did.
Tucked inside by Penn State, Marissa Shiva, the hero against Michigan, late in that one. Final minutes. Ellie Jean with the assist, the first assist of the season for Ellie Jean, finding Shiva for the game winner. Illinois taking their time with the throw-in. Ashley Cathro, the freshman from Canada. That'll be a turnover, a rare unforced error right there. Shea Moyer thought she had a defender along the end line. She didn't, so it's a corner kick for the Illini. Morgan Maroney. Hope Breslin, who's had herself a big-time season with 5 goals and 3 assists, wearing the number 10 jersey. Sent in by the Illini. First ball, second ball handled by Penn State. It'll drop at the top of the 18, but Dennis knew it was not on frame.
Not a huge fan of that corner kick. They only had 3 players in the box as potential targets. Instead of playing the ball short, pulling some more Nittany Lions out of the box. Look at that. You don't see anybody from the Illini really able to challenge for that ball. Set pieces are so critical in these games. It's such a tight conference, and it's the big moments like that in transition. All the coaches talked about it and how key set pieces were. That was a wasted opportunity.
Nice run down the right side from the Illini. Just hit it though, and Penn State will get it back. This is the 10th Big Ten tournament meeting between these two teams. Penn State is 6-3 when they face the Illini in the Big Ten tournament. It's the 32nd all-time meeting. The Nittany Lions hold a 27-4-0 series advantage. Of course, Penn State has been the premier program in Big Ten women's soccer for so long. Penn State off the restart. Ellie Jean had that assist, has it ripped far side by the Illini. All the way through as Rio misjudged it. Rio comes back to win it. Look at the fight here from the Illini. That's the Big Ten Defender of the Year, and the Illini rip it right away.
Well, that's Mayday going against Real. The little speedster is gritty, low center of gravity, very difficult to knock off the ball.
Yeah, Erica Dombach was concerned about that combination of Mayday and Silber from a defensive point of view, as we saw in your keys.
Just they both bring something different. And she didn't know how her back line was going to be able to handle that, because she has 2 center backs that are very similar. They don't have like this speedy one. So Real is very tactical, very smart, good lockdown defender 1v1, but you wouldn't say extremely quick. Her 2 center backs are not speedsters. So it's going to be interesting to see if Illinois can find those moments to get in behind and create an opportunity to exploit that speed differential.
I love that look there as well, Kate, as you saw the fight of Mayday, knowing that Real's not going to blaze away from her, and got that leg in there and took it away. Maddie Elliston-Nolf starts this attack, and she'll get it back. That's the right back making a long run. Now Nolf, top of the 18. Off again on that U20 team a couple years ago with Emily Ogle and several other Penn State Nittany Lions, including Ellie Jean and a couple of players that have moved on. A year after winning the national championship, Penn State's roster was pretty much decimated by the World Cup, as they had 5 Americans and a German that were playing in the World Cup.
That's such a great thing, right? To be so good that the top players want to come to your school, but then that's what happens, is that when the big tournaments come into play and come on that calendar, they leave. So then I think the silver lining to that is you get other players who didn't expect to get that much playing time has the opportunity to grow quicker in the college game due to extended minutes.
That's a great point. There's some players on the field today that were able to step up. There's some players on the field today that were on the field as starters when Penn State won that national championship in 2015. As you see, Dubs, the freshman from Switzerland. Penn State's always done a nice job of just mixing in a couple international players.
Ones that are always technical and can help build the ball in tight spaces. The European players usually have a tactical advantage over most American players because the game is much more cerebral there, not as athletic, transition based. So that you need to learn how to break down tight spaces because teams are so well organized, and that's what those players bring, is that savvy and that tactical nous that matures every other player around them once they learn to play next to him and grow. But right now for Illinois, they need to learn and need to shut down this midfield of Penn State. What Penn State is doing is every single time they get the ball in the midfield, they're changing the point to the other flank or holding onto it, which is forcing the back line of Illinois. They're dropping off so much, creating more space for the midfield to create.
Here's Ellie Jean. If you watch that Michigan game, the last 10 minutes, this is what she was doing, end line to end line, and then she finally got to the end line, dropped one on a dime to Shiva with over 60 seconds remaining, and Penn State moves on. Look at, they switch the point of attack.
Look at this, and then it frees up the wide channel, and Shiva goes.
Shiva earns the corner kick, Penn State. Over 10 minutes into this one, Grand Park, Westfield, Indiana. If you've ever been, I joke about it being one of the 7th wonders of the world. I mean, there are a million fields out there. It's incredible. Then you go indoors in those 3 full-size soccer fields.
We got lots of space in the Midwest.
It's incredible. Here's Emily Ogle, the redshirt senior from Strongsville, Ohio. Ogle, good corner kick. Illini safety first will knock it out of there as Mayday doing the work all over the field.
Back it up, fine. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up, fine. Back it up. Keep going. Keep going.
We talked about the energy
Yeah, there it is, Mark.
that Penn State was worried about coming from Illinois. I haven't heard it, and I haven't really seen it. And I think Penn State did the first key, has achieved their first objective, and their game plan coming into this is to have more enthusiasm, more energy in the first 20 minutes to nullify that, something that Illinois prides itself on, is coming out guns blazing in the first 20 minutes of every game.
Yeah, that was your #1 Bayer key to the game. And you're right, I'm not seeing a whole lot of dancing over there, so mission accomplished for Penn State. This is a dangerous ball, turnover for Penn State, as that was Alina Ortega-Jurado with a bad ball squared. Picked off by the Illini. George now on it. And she'll push toward the end line. Looks like she was going for a deflection and a corner kick, but Penn State let it slip through. Couple unforced errors. Alina Ortega-Jurado. We saw Shea Moyer as well knock it backwards, causing a corner kick. Some rare mistakes from your regular season champs.
And give credit to Illinois and their offensive players pressing correctly defensively to cause those errors and to give up the ball in the final third in key positions.
Illini in that 3-5-2. Penn State comes out in a 4-3-3. 15 minutes in. Illinois has had a share of the possession. Another chance to get it inside the 18. They drop it out, shot from distance, and once again, not able to get over the ball, so not on target, out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. It's Kelly Mayday, who's been very busy.
And this all starts with an entry ball to center forward who drops it back, goes wide, and then it's done again 10 yards higher up. And you get to see how that interplay and interchange of movements and the interpassing between the front and the midfield is creating opportunities. That from a long distance, not able to test Dennis in goal. but that will buy confidence for the Illini that they're able to build against a well-organized defensive side.
Yeah, Illinois with 3 shots already. Penn State does not have a shot, as you see here on our Big Ten Network screen. Mayday 4 goals and 3 assists. The junior from Chicago. She had the game winner and a big win over a very good Nebraska Cornhusker team in the regular season. Speaking of Nebraska, they'll face Minnesota next. There's Erica Dombach and Cook. Boy, talk about consistency, continuity, togetherness. Those two.
Humor.
Yeah, they're fun.
Those two are always cracking each other up. And Cook, the assistant coach, might be the funniest player that I ever had the privilege to play with.
Illinois shot from distance again, as this time dialing it up there was the center forward, McKenna Silber, freshman from Crystal Lake, Illinois.
And that's frustrating to have so many shots come from distance. But realistically and defensively, you're like, fine, take it. You can have all those shots from distance because you're so far out. It takes so much time for that ball to get towards our goal. It allows more time for our goalkeeper to get in good position and, if needed, save it. So we'll give you that. You can have that.
Silber on that Big Ten all-freshman team. Referee letting him play. Like it. Turnover. The middle there. That was Hope Breslin with one too many touches, and now Illinois will bomb it long. Long throw from Amanda Dennis. She tossed it past midfield on one bounce.
That was awesome. I see some goalkeepers that can't kick it that far. That's huge to have that ability of distribution. A little too much power on that one, but had that connected, that would have been one of those transition moments that Illinois is worried about.
It's interesting. You think about goalkeepers that can throw it a long way. Alyssa Nair starred at Penn State. She's now the #1 choice for Jill Ellis on the U.S. women's national team. Penn State patient. They don't have a shot yet, but they continue to do what Penn State does. There's a shot. Taliaferri. Right to Jalen Cunningham.
The shot from the Nittany Lions by number 19, Frankie Taliaferri.
Taliaferri is so comfortable with her back to pressure. Watch it, that cut against the grain. First touch, then uses her body to separate herself from the defender, buying her enough time to turn around and get a shot on that quick release.
Penn State, you talk about sharing the wealth. They got 3 players with 7 goals. Taliaferri at 19 points. Carrie Abello, who is out with an injury, took a little nick against Michigan. And then Kristen Schnurr, who will come on here probably in the first half, the super sub. She also has 7 goals. Free kick opportunity here for Illinois. Usually it's some sort of designed play. Popped in. Keeper comes out. Still loose. Illinois can score. Looks like it went off the near post, and a little bit of scramble there from Dennis as she came out. The ball was flicked, and she was not in a good position.
Oh, Dennis comes out too late. So Real doesn't know she's coming out for it, and you get to see Mayday so quick trying to get on the end of that. Excuse me, Murray, look at this. Look how fast she is. Look how explosive she is in a span of 5 yards, able to get something on it, just not at the right angle. Hit it with the right part of her foot. The quick release, had enough power that would have bypassed the defender and got on the back of the net, but just was so wide, didn't have the angle to eke it around the post.
Katie Murray, the craftier of the two. Maroney, the grittier of the two. And you saw right there Murray showing that craftiness, that quickness to get that shot on target. Your number 5 seed, Illinois, is looking good here. Of course, no goals to show for it, but they've definitely had more of the play. Second team all Big Ten for Murray, the senior from Cincinnati. The flip throw here for the Illini. They've had a lot of flip throws over the years under Janet Rayfield. Cleaned up now by Penn State. Again, that patience. They keep it on the ground. Try to play the beautiful game. Pushing forward. Taliaferri. Making a run on the right side was Williams. They go left side. Dubs was over there. And a turnover again for Illinois. So Illinois has been forcing some mistakes from Penn State. Good ball dropped in. Dennis this time had it read perfectly.
Dennis is playing very high offer line, playing very aggressive. In that case, it paid off because she was able to get onto that ball. Otherwise, I do think Mayday would have been able to get on top of it, but she's got to have to watch that aggressiveness, rein it in a little bit, especially on those balls she's not 100% sure, because we saw what could happen when she guesses wrong.
Emily Ogle to Jean. Cleaned up by George, senior from Chicago. Again, mistake there from Penn State. Illinois try to get numbers forward. That's Mayday, nobody else home. Mayday is bringing her championship form, at least early on. She's brought, talk about that energy, enthusiasm, she's brought it on the field as they play it forward. Again, Dennis will just deal with it.
She's more that speedster that's reading where that first or second ball might land. And we got to see her explosiveness in within 5 yards, which allows her to get onto those things that she may not win in an aerial challenge due to a shorter stature. So her combination with Silber up top, who's more that holder of the ball, will receive it, play it off. Then they're looking for Mayday to be that one that's more that penetrating vertical ball.
Illini winning those second and third balls. But I kind of like what you said, though, about Penn State being okay with these shots from distance from Illinois, and it's almost like they're just waiting to pick their poison, and then they can be lethal when they want to.
I think they believe in their game plan so much. They know they're going to create opportunities as long as they keep finding Ogle in the middle, finding Williams, spraying it out wide, and then continue to move the ball up, central, wide, central again. They believe in that. They think it'll pay dividends at some point in the game.
And Penn State, with that patience, earns a corner kick. Good work down the right side there by Shiva.
Corner kick for Penn State to be taken by number 10.
Marissa Shiva, the senior from Sellersville, Pennsylvania, part of the Penn Fusion program. Emily Ogle just feels like she's been there forever. Redshirt senior for Penn State. Both hands in the air, right foot ready. Ogle. Top of the 6. That's where you want it. It'll fall to Williams. Cleared at the 6. Penn State will stay with it. Shiva, who started this sequence, back to Ogle. Ogle with her left foot this time. Good ball. Read there, though, by Jalen Cunningham. Jalen Cunningham had a beat on it, like a center fielder was ready to go.
It comes out to Shiva. Nice little play. Ogle had done the overlap outside wide, does a little deception, cuts it back in, looking for the far post, looking to connect, but well done by Cunningham, able to get onto it and read it the entire way.
George fouls Williams in a dangerous position. And Penn State, we just talked about picking their poison. They're all over Illinois right now. And now they've got this free kick because of this foul.
When George comes up, approaches the ball completely incorrect. Her body positioning on how to defend that was wrong. Williams is able to earn her team a dangerous free kick.
Selena Ortega Herrada, the German, Emily Ogle, Charlotte Williams. Who you going with here, Kate Markgraf?
Ogle.
Ogle. We've seen Ogle score from this distance right here on the Big Ten Network, and it does look like Ogle's going to take it. Ogle keeps it down on the ground. She'll get it right back. Quick little give and go there with Shea Moyer.
The shot for the Nittany Lions by number 10,
Off.
Ogle.
Ogle. Kept alive by Dubs. Are you surprised Ogle decided to keep that free kick on the ground like that, Kate?
Well, when she took the free kick, she picked her head up. There was that gap in between the wall and the first defensive player outside the wall. That defensive player ended up cutting over, and I believe it was Wieland, a little bit to be able to pick that up.
Shiva's gotten off down near the end line. Can she get to it? I think she was too late. It'll come back to Illinois. The pace starting to pick up here on semifinal Friday. There's Maddie Elliston-Knopf, a couple assists from Omaha, Nebraska.
So when Ogle steps up, it looks like Wieland is free, but then watch. So I was incorrect. I thought she thought the gap was bigger and that Barker, was a little bit farther left, but it was just poorly hit by Ogle.
Alicia Barker was there. She's second team all Big Ten. And perhaps the biggest reason why Janet Rayfield decided the three-back system would work because of the play of Barker.
Yeah, they stepped up huge, didn't they? Her communication and organization.
Jean sent in. A little flick there from Talia Ferry. Back to Ogle. Ogle again keeps it on the ground.
The shot for the Nittany Lions by number 10, Emily Ogle.
Alina Ortega Jurado, they call her OJ, the senior from Germany, can play pretty much every position except goalkeeper, according to Erica Dombach. Westfield, Indiana, as you mentioned, farmland. They're out in the elements. We saw a whole lot of that last year, Kate, but wind could still play a role over the weekend as well. Last year, you needed to score when you had the wind or you're going to be in trouble.
Well, it was horrible conditions last year, and it was just as much as battling the opponent is battling them. We could just see this is actually this is perfect weather if you're in the Midwest. You're used to this. As long as it's not sleeting rain and huge gale force winds, this is something that you've grown accustomed to during conference play.
Shiva. Knopf will square it. Quick ball from Moyer. That's Jean, who has come forward quite a bit. Dubs, now Williams. Williams has Ogle, Talia Ferry, and on the far side, Shiva in the 18. At least they were. Now they'll check back as the line pushes up for Illinois. Maddie Elliston-Knopf. She's not afraid to take a shot from there. Moyer turns it over. See what Illinois can do on the counter. Diego Herrada will win it. Now Jean will play it over to Rio. Just like that, Penn State back on the attack. Right back. Knopf. Shot from Williams. Looked like it hit Barker. It did. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, Penn State.
The movement of the front six of Penn State is so fun to watch. They're never in the same spot for more than 3 or 4 seconds if they're not on the ball. They clear out space so quickly, and they find new ones. That right there, Knopf able to come inside because of a sacrificing run of another player. Williams tries to unleash a shot, and Wieland blocks it.
Third corner for Penn State with under 15 minutes remaining here in the first. Still no score. Your #1 seed Penn State, #5 seed Illinois. Ogle, high lofted ball. Pinging around. First touch there was from Rio. Williams, nice little give and go. Rio, who came forward for the corner kick. Sent in. And there's the craftiness of her fellow center back. That would have been center back to center back for a goal as it was Rio to Alina Ortega-Jurado.
I don't think I've ever seen a center back attempt to try to score a goal with a powerful shot with a Cruyff slash pass. But Rio, nice little deception to buy herself some space. Jurado's body positioning, not one where she can get a shot off in any way. I think she's just trying to keep the ball going. But look at the wind already. You can tell, we were looking at the flags earlier, the wind is heading in that direction. So anything on the ground in the air is going to carry in Penn State's favor in the attacking. I think the wind aided that one a little bit. It was pretty creative, though. Imagine if that had gone in.
Well, and as you know, as we talked about, Erica Dombach's not afraid to put OJ up in the attacking spots late in the game when she needs a goal. So she's got some of that magic in there. I don't know about that move right there, though.
I think it's great. You can't script everything. And if you did, then it'd be easy to defend. And stuff like that you can't plan for. She was locked down. The defender did anything. And she picked the one option she had to keep the ball going and to keep the speed of play at a high tempo. And that was it. And it almost resulted in a surprise opportunity on net.
Like, how much fun would it have been to have like an Overbeck Markgraf goal and then play the rest of the game? Would you guys be talking about it the entire time or what? Because you figure those two would have.
I would have retired after like my first 9 months on the national team if that happened.
Because you finally got a penalty kick, right, to score one?
Oh my gosh. I did not need stats to make myself, to tell myself I was a good player. I was fine. I always denied PKs, by the way.
Really? Taliaferri is going to take a shot, but right to Jalen Cunningham.
Taliaferri came up lame a little bit on that one. And you'll be able to see it. She hasn't been able to connect the ball. She has a knack for finding it and quickly turning with her back to pressure. She uses her body extremely well, and with those quick feet, she's able to get around it. But after that shot, something to watch for moving forward. She came up a little bit hobbly and trying to extend her leg on that side, the one that's wrapped. Something to watch as this game goes on. She is the player that scored both goals against Illinois the last time these two teams played one another at the end of September.
Nolf. Taliaferri still has support. Thought she was going to go back to Nolf. Tried to get it to Shiva. OJ back over to Jean. Moyer, who sits and connects, tries to find Ogle when she can. Shiva knocked out of bounds. Marissa Shiva, the 5'3" senior from Pennsylvania.
Number 6, Katie Way, replacing number 15, Kelly Mayday.
This is one of the smallest teams Penn State has ever had, as they had a couple of players go pro early, including Laura Frage, who lit up this tournament last year. She was incredible. A big loss for Penn State, and a tough loss, but clearly they've been able to deal with it as they're once again your Big Ten regular season champs. Ortega-Jurado. Ogle now back out to Nolf. Shiva. Nolf. Again, you're right back into the 18. Ogle. Good little move. She can hit it left or right. You can tell she wanted it back on her right. Now Shiva again. Lofted ball right in front as Cunningham had to deal with her teammates laying down in front of her. Had to jump over one. Sidestep, stays with Penn State. Nolf again. I was waiting for Nolf to finally go ahead and just take one on her own, and that's exactly what she did. Slid in, and Illinois survives that latest offensive flurry from the Nittany Lions.
Well, the sustained attack of the Nittany Lions is forcing almost like a bunker-like defense with all 10 players back from Illinois. Shiva with the long distance cross, and you get to see Taliaferri actually pushes down Barker, and that's the reason why there's a player on the ground and Cunningham's trying to jump over it. And the inability from Illinois to clear it creates a sustained attack there. Nolf gets a chance. That's their outside right back, has enough time to go all the way forward. And because Illinois can't clear it, they're not a threat offensively, so it can push the entire back line up. for the Nittany Lions.
Look at that shot summary right there. It goes right into what you were talking about, just dealing with long-distance shots and then picking the poison. Right after we said that, it's been 7 shots to none for Illinois. It was almost like they just took a couple little tight little punches and dealt with it, and it was on. Turnover here. Illinois, numbers aren't bad right now, 4 on 4. And I think you're right, Kate, as you're in here signaling one more pass to the right, right?
Go wide.
Right down the spine. And Penn State does exactly what Illinois probably should have done. They go wide. Shiva, her move toward the end line. Great ball across and cleared out of there by George as George and Barker interchange. And another corner kick for Penn State, and thumbs up coming from Kelly Beeler.
One thing you have to be worried about with Penn State is their ability to transition so quickly with numbers centrally and wide. So it goes up the spine, gets out to Shiva, who excels in wide areas, beats Barker. One of her best crosses so far that she's had in a game, well defended to clear out by George.
It was one of the subs, Kelly Beeler, waiting there. Gave the thumbs up after. There's Real, who's looked good coming forward for corner kicks, climbing the ladders, got pretty good vertical. Penn State right back into the 18. As Real stays forward. Big target in Real, the redshirt junior from Fairfax Station, Virginia. More subs coming in here in the final 8 minutes. So we asked Erica Dombach this week about, hey, you won the regular season, you know you're going to get a high seed, you've got an impressive record, best RPI in the league. What's your game plan here? And before we could even get the question out, you heard her, Kate. It was, we're going for it. We're approaching this. We want to win it. We want the hardware. We want the best seed we can get. We're going for it all the way, and that's how we're attacking this weekend.
I think when all the expectations of a team are shed, because they had a couple players leave unexpectedly. This is the smallest roster, like you said earlier, that they've ever had. And they started off conference a little bit weak with going 2-2. People started to doubt them. And when that happened, she told us that this team buckled down and started to believe in themselves and rely only on themselves because they knew they had such a small roster. They had a bigger hurdle to overcome than what they've ever had. So they shed all expectations. So this team is just more poised, and I would say more motivated than ever, because now they have something to prove. Even though they might, it sounds crazy, the fact that they won the Big Ten Conference and now they're in the Big Ten Championship, but they have something to prove because they've had to fight more battles to get to this point than I think they've had in recent history.
And that was 100% reflected in her comments. Well said, Kate. 0-0, 6 minutes plus here remaining in the first. Erica Dombach played for John Daly at William and Mary with Ann Cook. Of course, William and Mary also the home of Jill Ellis. Jean bring it back to Rio. Ogle trying to find a little bit more of the game as Illinois has now gone 20 minutes without a shot. Cunningham. You can tell, as good as Penn State is, they're going to have to be pretty special to get one by Jalen Cunningham, who's in top form, second team all Big Ten goalkeeper.
And she's got so many numbers in front of her right now, with Illinois bringing more and more numbers back in order to handle the sustained attack that happens for minutes upon minutes of time that we've seen so far in this game. Penn State's going to have to find that pocket of opening through the movement that we've seen, but release a little bit quicker.
Good ball in front, little touch. A stumble there as Penn State plays it up to Kristen Schnurr, who can flat out finish. Tied for the team lead with 7 goals, the super sub, redshirt junior. She has started some games, but Erica Dombach really likes what she brings off the bench, and you almost saw her take the team lead in goals if she could have settled that ball a little bit better.
Her movement off the ball is what I've noticed, because she's taller than anyone else on the field right now. So the minute she came on, you see this player in white just doing the sacrificial runs for other players to get open. But she also has the skill to find the ball.
There's Schnurr, there's Williams. You're right, Schnurr will take a player away, and if that creates space for Williams, it's on for Penn State.
And she's more mobile than Taliaferri, so I think Taliaferri might have a knock or something because of how she pulled up. I see Taliaferri going a little bit one-on-one, trying to do a little dink to the far post to Williams. And that's just too much to ask of the center back and the defenders of Illinois to have 3 players on them. It's the movement of Penn State, the ball traveling from one side to another. It is making this usually very organized on the Illini back line be in bits and pieces back there, especially on that far post.
Taliaferri. Williams wanted that one. I think if Byler could have dummied that, it would have been on. Byler's touch wasn't quite there. 3:18. Jean. I feel like Jean has been effective on that left side, just as Nolf has on the right side as part of the Penn State attack. Taliaferri. Right to Jalen Cunningham.
So they take Dubs out because she struggled, honestly, connecting passes, and they put Taliaferri out wide, so she has a bit more space on the ball. We get to see her pace and power that she can connect when she has the opportunity to.
Illinois, it's been a long time since they've been able to get a shot off. Williams, good touch, good vision. Ballo's into the game now as well for Erica Dombach as she brings on a lot of subs. Tega Jurado, Williams, now out wide here to Ballo. Down near the end line, Ballo can't get it through Illinois, but she does earn another corner kick for Penn State.
Corner kick for the Nittany Lions. To be taken by number 10, Emily Ogle.
Opportunity for Emily Ogle here to see if Penn State can get one before halftime. A little over 90 seconds remaining, 5th corner. And Emily Ogle's taking them all for Penn State. They've been looking for Rio on quite a few of these, wearing that number 3 jersey. This time they go low with it. As Tego Jurado made a near post run, and they'll say it went off of Penn State and back to Illinois.
Substitution for the Fighting Illini, number 16.
So, Kate, as we think about these final 65 seconds, Illinois, they did bring that energy early, but they haven't had a shot in almost 30 minutes. So, if you're Janet Rayfield, knowing what you saw in the first 15, what might be her message to her team at half?
She's got to win that midfield battle with her 3. Those 3 in the midfield are not doing a good enough job defensively to shut down Penn State's change of point. If they're able to keep it on one side, they're going to be better poised defensively and make the play predictable so our defenders can clear the ball. Right now, Penn State's able to do whatever they want because the individual defending is not good enough in that midfield.
See if Penn State can connect it one more time here. Final 30 seconds remaining. They'll go back to Cunningham. One again by Taliaferri, who has been pushed out left, as Kate Markgraf just told you. Jean, pretty good ball, but Cunningham is there as they were looking to get it over Cunningham, with Williams making that run at the edge of the 6, and that will count it down. Illinois with a quick start, though, but Penn State, the last 30 minutes all over the Illini, but nobody able to get one by Jalen Cunningham. It's 0-0 through 45.
Well, it started out Penn State, and then Illinois grew for about 15 minutes, and we're starting to is starting to build attack and going from front to back through excellent interplay. But then the last 20 minutes, it was all Penn State. A little bit of subs helped control that, as well as Ogle starting to take over the game.
Semifinal Friday on the Big Ten Network. Your #1 seed, Penn State. Your #5 seed, Illinois. Minnesota and Nebraska will feature in semifinal #2. Somebody will get a spot in Sunday's championship game, but that somebody needs to score a goal. It's 0-0 here. Penn State and Illinois on the Big Ten Network.